find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, yeah, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, yeah, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I be in the front row, chilling at a ball game. Yeah, you know what they say.
And with Zona Sports Talk, where Lori Burkhardt and I get to talk sports, predominantly Arizona Wildcats, and we can meet some special people from the past, from the present, from the future. So right now we are so excited. We have Carrington Vaughn here with us, former Arizona Wildcat, who played football under Rich Rod. And Lori, you want to introduce yourself? How you been doing?
Sure, we're doing great. Lori Burkhardt, and I'm super excited to be here. I am excited to talk to Carrington tonight. Former linebacker for the U of A, very exciting, and so successful, and can't wait to hear about the road he's taken to get to where he is right now. We talk about football a lot, and I think every kid's dream is to make it into the NFL, but that scholarship, that football scholarship can lead to more things outside of football. And Carrington is a great example of that. So excited for this show.
So Carrington, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Shireen. Hi, Lori. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited to even have this opportunity to talk with you guys about my journey. And so thanks so much for having me on the show.
Oh, anytime. It's our privilege, actually. So
exactly.
A few days ago, I saw you with all your cords, and were you hooded? It's a master's degree, right?
It's a doctorate, a JD.
Wow.
Yes.
So Carrington just got his JD in law from the University of Arizona. How would that feel? How does that feel?
It feels great. I'm still trying to come down off of all the hard work that was put in, trying to get refocused so I can hone back into my studies, especially for the bar. That's the big rite of passage in order to start my career. So I'm excited. I'm happy that I was able to make my family proud. And headed to be one of the first lawyers, if not the first lawyer in my family. So.
And there's so much you can do with a law degree. So we were just talking about that. So what are some of the things you want to do? I know you're going to try to pass the bar. Not try. You're going to pass the bar. Right now you're in Texas, right?
Right. So my plan is I'm going to take the Arizona bar, and I'll have reciprocity from taking the bar in that state. I'll be able to practice in 33 other states, depending on where I transfer my score. From there, right now I have the idea to work in sports and entertainment law. Life throws a lot of different things, so no telling what opportunities might come up before then. I have always had a dream to possibly be a sports agent. I think sports comes naturally in terms of practicing law. I went to school for transactional and contractual matters. So now I have the skills to read the contracts. I know what to look for. I know some of the pitfalls, and now I can, pretty much do any type of contract. I know how to talk to people, and I'm just excited to be equipped, and I'm ready to take on the world at this point. So.
Well, what's natural, and we talked about this as well, is the NIL world is brand new.
Yes.
And being a college athlete and now being a lawyer, and getting now into social media, being interviewed, all those things. Right. Is that something you're interested in doing?
Yeah, so I had the privilege of working with the University of Arizona, between the law school and the athletic department. I worked on their Arizona Edge program. I actually was a teacher on some of the modules in terms of the different NIL topics of marketing, business entity formation, contracts, and I was able to be a part of that. And it was really special being a former player and being able to still be in contact with the athletic department and being involved and at least showing face, because one day I possibly want to be a pipeline or someone that these guys and girls can use as a resource, not only with NIL opportunities, but just in crafting what they want to do with the rest of their lives. Because Sports is an awesome tool and opportunity, but it's not something that's going to last forever. But there's ways to modify their progression to where they can still be involved in sports and have a lucrative and fulfilling career after that. So if I can help in that area and at least just be an example for them, that's pretty much what I'm aiming to do.
You know, Carrington, I'm glad you brought up the Edge program, because I was going to ask you about that, if you had any involvement with that, because, you know, it's so new now that, you know, the players can now earn some money, which I think is fabulous. But tell us a little bit about the Edge program and how it came about. Because I think that, I may be wrong here, but I think Arizona was leading in that. They were one of the first schools that came up with a program to help the students. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was looped in with the Arizona Edge program going into the summer as a research assistant for the library. My job was to basically go and find information pertaining to marketing, business formation, tax, and other matters, to compile that information and to present it to players in the easiest way possible for them to understand, because of how fast the NIL opportunities were coming in. So once we did that, we created the modules at the law school, and we worked with Eller, the business college, to put together this platform to where the players can access it from their D2L page, which is where the rest of their classes are.
Right.
Once we had that opportunity, we ran a test of, we went to the athletic department and basically had test runs with the college athletes. And they would run through our program and tell us what they liked and what they didn't like. And for the most part, we got great results from that. In my opinion, this was something that should have been done way long ago, even before NIL opportunities came about, like teaching these players how to form businesses and getting them ready for the world, because there's only so many players are going to make it to the NFL or to whatever top of the game is, whatever sports league. So it was just a great opportunity to get them to dip their toe into how to run a business, how to set themselves up and enterprise their own selves. And I think that we did that. And in terms of its impact, I think a lot of different schools from around the country kind of followed suit in putting together their own programs for the players. Outside of hiring a third party to educate their student athletes, they can have more control, making it an internal program.
That's excellent.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah, so wonderful. And you can see all sides, you know.
Absolutely.
And not only that, you were at the U of A for, you said 8 years?
Yes, undergrad and graduate, so 7 years. 7 years because I graduated early.
You've seen football coaches come and go.
Come and go.
and go.
I had 3 different linebacker coaches in the 3 years that I was playing.
Wow.
Yes.
What did you learn? Who did you learn the most from?
I think under Marcel Yates, I learned the most, and that's who was my coach and he was a defensive coordinator. That's who I worked with the most. But whenever I came in, I was under Jeff Castile and Jamal Adai, and just all those different coaches. I had the opportunity to learn from them, and they're all East Coast guys, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So just being able to come to Arizona and bring that hitter mentality and go out there and hit somebody and try and make a name for myself. I had a really big chip on my shoulder in terms of being a preferred walk-on. So I knew once I got to Tucson in the heat, I was like, I got to come out here and show them my stuff. I got to show them what I got. So I was able to do that.
And it seemed to me, and I'm just looking from the outside, that it's no mystery that I've always was a Rich Rod fan, because he loved the game so much. So what attracted you to go to Arizona and play for Rich Rod as a walk-on?
Right. So actually my father, during his youthful years, he was stationed at Davis Moth Air Force Base.
Oh.
And so he had ties to Tucson and brought me to a spring game my sophomore year in high school. Didn't go to a camp, but just seeing the campus, it was just a beautiful place. I knew that if I went there, I could easily be successful there, not only athletically, but academically. Just being in that sun, it was a beautiful campus. Rich Rod was a well-known coach. I remember him from West Virginia, and him with Pat White. And, I just saw that. And I'm like, okay, like this is a place. I knew I wanted to go Division I. I said I had other offers from smaller schools. I'm like, I'm not going to put in all this work and not go Division I, because that's always been a dream of mine. So earning a scholarship was, it had to be the way for me, and it taught me so much.
And did you earn it? You did earn the scholarship, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I earned my scholarship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
So
I did.
you were there.
I want to hear where you got it, where you got the scholarship.
I got my scholarship. I think it was we had our fall scrimmage right before the season started, and we got done with practice, and I was walking off the field, and Billy Kurlavich was there, and he was our player personnel guy, and he was like, "Hey, Richard, I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay," and that's never happened, so I knew something was up. Walked over there, and he was just like, "Congratulations, like we're going to be putting you on scholarship." And I was like, "Thank you," just like, definitely thanked him. And he was giving me congratulations. After that, I walked away, and my teammates are right there to greet me, and to, because they saw the work that I put in, and how much grind that I had, and they were there to congratulate me, and support me in that. It was a beautiful moment. And I really worked hard for that, and I was so grateful and happy.
So what you were there 16, 17, when did you graduate?
15 to 18, I played 2015,
Okay.
2018, and then I graduated in 2019.
Okay. So you were at the Colorado game when Khalil decided he, I don't know, was Speedy Gonzalez and was gonna run forever.
I was actually injured that game.
Oh no!
Here's the little piece of that story. And earning my scholarship 2 weeks later, I ended up tearing my ACL meniscus against Houston, and that was before Khalil started breaking out and had that terrific season. So I guess that's where my story actually starts, is having to come back from that injury, and going from such a high moment to a low moment so quickly. I had to learn how to battle back and change my perspective. And that's whenever I transferred over into law. So that's one of the stadiums that I did not get to play in, and I was sick about that. There and the Coliseum were the two of the places that I missed playing at. So unfortunately.
Cute.
Who are your buddies on the team?
Say that again?
Who are your buddies on the team? Like, who did you hang out with?
Hung out with Scooby a lot. I hung out with Khalil. Khalil used to chill with me a lot. Let's see.
And he lived alone too, Khalil, right?
He did. But his first couple of years, he'd always be at my house. We had like the player house, I was with that crowd, but it was a bunch of great guys. Cedric Peterson. Let's see. I don't know, there's so many guys. There's so many people came and gone. So, but it was great.
Did Scooby's energy rub off on you? Scooby with words?
Yes. So whenever I first got to Arizona, Rich Rod used to have live periods for rookies, and like the guys who just got there. And I had that hard-nosed mentality to go out there and hit someone. I actually almost ended up playing my first year, but I decided to redshirt, almost play, because our linebackers were going down so fast in my first year, when Jeff Castile was still here. And just going out there, and there's a couple times where I spared Brandon Dawkins by not doing blindside hits from the back, but I was always a blitz guy, and just going out there and playing like a madman. Had some great hits. So
what was your favorite memory from all of that? Favorite game, favorite memory?
Yeah, my first play ever was in Glendale against BYU. It was my first college play ever, and I got a sack against Taysom Hill. My first time. That was my first ever play. It was amazing.
I actually read about that when I was, doing a little research about you, and I was like, oh my gosh, that had to feel so good.
It felt great. It felt great just to to know that I belong at that level. I feel like there's a lot of schools that passed up on me that missed a really great player. And so when I came to Arizona, it's like I need to prove myself here, and prove myself to myself as well, just to say, like, even though I'm undersized, I can still ball. And I think I'd prove that to myself. And that's awesome. Just happy about that.
I'm interested to find out how you feel about the current coaching staff and the direction they're going in it. If they're embracing it looks like they're embracing alumni. So how's that going, you think?
They are absolutely embracing alumni. I think the infrastructure of the program has took leaps and bounds in terms of connecting to alumni, building the game day experience. I think they have a high caliber coaching staff who's well connected. I think these guys have an opportunity as anybody in the country to go to the next level. I think that the recruiting is going to get even better. I think the game day experience is going to get even better. I'm very optimistic about it. I know this season was not what anyone expected, but I have all the faith in this coaching staff. And I love the way that every week I'm getting an email. Every 2 weeks, we're having this thing called a huddle where all the alumni get on a Zoom call with the player personnel people and just kind of discuss the issues and what the alumni want to see. I think that's the best way that you can do it. Yeah, we need to just continue building our culture. It's taken a long time, but we're going to get there at some point. There's no way that, with these efforts that we won't get to a more connected athletic program.
Did you see, how were you keeping track of the early signing period today?
I was not today. I've been resting all day today, just relaxed.
Yeah. So I was. Yeah, and
all day.
Wow.
Twitter,
all day.
Was flipping, and then Jed Fish with his flipping stuff on his tweets are like, oh, who he flip?
Yeah, and the dancing cactus yesterday, I was like, ooh. But yeah, I think they ended the day with either 19 or 20 early signing. They ended right now they're number 32 in the nation and number 2 in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's amazing. And they flipped I think they flipped a
US
well, he was committed at one time to USC. I'm not sure if he was a flip or not, because I don't know if he decommitted or not. I couldn't find anything on that one, but he was committed at one time to USC. And then they got a Wazoo guy that was going to go to Wazoo, and he did flip. He ended up signing. And then Central Michigan, I think, is that?
We had a UCLA transfer, I think.
Yeah, UCLA transfer and a Central Michigan. So to your point, Carrington, they're making leaps and bounds. This was probably, I have to say, I followed the U of A football program for so many years, and I can't remember an early signing period like this one.
That's good. I'm inspired. I'm ready to see us get some wins. We need a Pac-12 championship within the next couple of years. I'm looking for that.
That'd be great. And then with Chuck Cecil and Ricky Hundley back there, I have never seen. I've known Ricky for a while. I wrote all about his life, and we spent a lot of time getting that all together. And he was his dream ever since he left Arizona to coach at Arizona. And the fact that Jed Fish got the job, I didn't know that they had coached together in Florida. So I have never seen that man smile as much as I've seen him smile. It's just ear to ear smiling. So did you get a chance to hang with Chuck and Ricky at all?
Chuck's my favorite. Chuck is my favorite. I didn't get to hang with Rick, unfortunately, but hopefully when I get back to university, I'll be able to meet him. But Chuck Cecil is my guy. As soon as he walked in the door, he embraced me, especially knowing that I was a walk-on guy. So definitely always reaching out to Chuck. So
that's great.
Yes. And can you tell us something funny when you were playing with Rich Rod? Any funny story you can tell us?
Yes. So in our, I think in a season we went it was 2-11 or something. It was a really bad season, but I just remember one game, film day on a Sunday after a Saturday night game. Our special teams just wasn't up to snuff that week. And we ended up getting through maybe 3 clips, and a chair went into the wall. And the remote flew this way, the chair went that way, and there's a whole lot of MFers going on, and so much stuff. But I just remember us just being there, this is normal, and that was my first time seeing something like that, and everyone's just oh, it's okay. But it was funny to me because I'm like, wow, I didn't know he would get that mad. So it was probably one of the funniest things I've seen after, the scolding,
Yeah.
looking back on it.
So it's so funny with Rich Rod. I think his facial expressions are they're amazing, and cannot even imagine now that I can after you just told us about that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine what it would be like, inside the locker room, just watching his. I mean, he's so demonstrative. His face, his body movements, his hands. And then, so it doesn't surprise me at all that a chair went one way and a remote went the other, because if his face and his body movements could explode on the sideline, I think that's exactly what would happen.
I've never seen such a quiet man go from 0 to 100 so quickly. But one thing I'll say, Rich Rod is a very extremely smart guy, and that intensity is something that the program needed. And I think it actually gave us an edge on the field. It's because we brought that intensity, and we trusted him. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that if a team can trust the coach, that coach can get anything out of the team. And our guys trusted Rich Rod. And
he never threw anybody under the bus. Not one of his players. I've never heard him throw a player under the bus. Not once.
Absolutely.
He always took full responsibility. Did that help out with the trust factor?
Yeah, on the field, off the field, we knew that we were protected. And I think it's an amazing thing. And even from the stories that I heard just from the older guys about how Rich Rod, stood in the gap for them and basically, diverted so many bad things that could have happened to these players. And they felt love from him, even with all the yelling and the sternness, he was a genuine coach. And you couldn't ask much more than that. And I'm extremely grateful to him for giving me an opportunity, for giving me a scholarship. And that was a growth period for me. And yeah.
What are you missing right now? You're in Texas. So what are you missing from Tucson?
Sonoran hot dogs.
What's so funny that you say that, Carrington, because the New York Giants were in town. They're practicing at the U of A, and I hit up one of their writers is from here, and his name just slipped my mind. But anyway, he was getting a Sonoran hot dog, and I said, dude, if that whole team doesn't get a Sonoran hot dog before they leave Tucson, there is a crime being committed.
Yeah, they should have had a food truck out there for those guys as soon as they're coming off the field.
Yeah, exactly. Sonoran hot dogs for all.
Yes.
It's too bad they didn't win. It would have given Tucson a better name.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
was
they're
kinda
still the
cheering them
Giants.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Giants, pull it out. But
That's so funny. So Carrington, I think you are, and I have no doubt that you are going to pass this bar with flying colors. Coming from the field, coming from athletics, going into law, getting your doctorate, what, help us tell student athletes that are out there, the walk-ons that may or may not get a scholarship, help us tell them what's ahead for them if they just keep pushing and keep learning and take this opportunity that they are presented with this education. Kind of go through those steps and let that guy or girl out there know that it doesn't have to be NBA, WNBA, NFL. It doesn't have to be that, because there's so much more out there after sports.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing is just understanding that there's so many different opportunities that are out there if you are to say yes. I think there's a lot of things that even the school presents, like opportunities of clubs and different talks and all these different places that you can go in order to get opportunity, to get new information. And once you get that new information, you can make a better decision. And that comes with on the field, like the more film you study, the more time you talk with your coaches, it gives you more information and you can capitalize and make a better choice, and it leads to a better outcome. So in terms of being a collegiate athlete, if I was there again and I had all the knowledge that I have now, it would be to go to those programs and to say yes, to show up, even though you're tired, even though, you had practice. If you can at least find a way to go to like 2 or 3 events a month and to talk to those people. And the people that run those programs have opportunities. They have the way to get you connected, not only to alumni, but to professors who can lead you in a direction in terms of what your other interests are. And that's one of the biggest things, is like keep building upon those other interests that you have. Say yes, and keep using that max effort that you give in terms of on the field. Use that same max effort off the field in terms of, you know, your grades and different things like that. Grades are one thing, but networking and getting to know the people on your campus is a whole nother thing. That's the ball game you want to be in. I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now if it wasn't for academics, the athletics. So Cats Academics, they help not only in terms of tutoring, but they offer different programs, and I got involved with those programs. I went and saw my advisors about my classes to make sure that I'm still on track. And they offer those things already, just being a Division I athlete. But I took the extra few visits to find the right path for me. And once I found the right path, I was a finance major. But when I went to my advisor, I would just keep going, make sure I'm on track. I ended up switching to pre-law because I had more credits in pre-law than I did in finance, you know? And so it's like those little opportunities led me to being able to go and meet President Robbins, like right whenever he got here. And I was just looking there, I met him, and he helped me get into law school. And it's like me just talking to people and telling them what I want to do with my future. Once they knew that I was making the attempt to build a better future for myself, they were open to helping me and leading me into the direction that I wanted to go. So my thing is just utilize the connections and opportunities that you get from being a Division I athlete, and get people to help you, get people on your team. Because once you have that, you know, your result is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's like you want to be present. And not, yeah, you want to be present. You don't want to like just glide through, right?
Don't just
Because yeah, you're a great example of that. And I think what you just said should resonate with a lot of the student athletes out there, because you know, if you take advantage of those opportunities, the sky's the limit for you, you know.
Anything else you want to tell Wildcat fans or future employers?
For future employers, I would say that with myself, I know I'm a hard worker. I know what to do and what it takes to you know, at least be a team player and to help any place where I'm at to move forward. In terms of Wildcat Nation, continue to bear down and keep doing everything that you can to represent our Arizona community the best that you can. Keep involved, stay strong, and just do your best.
And, you know, I always wonder this too, like as a former athlete and knowing how the fans get when they're not winning or they're upset, you know, from an athlete's point of view, you're a human being, right? Absolutely. And sometimes I just feel like some fans don't treat athletes like human beings. Yeah. So, you know, anything on that to help the current athletes, you know, because they went through hell this year with the 1-11 a record.
Well, my biggest thing is that these people don't know you personally. They only know you and they judge you based off your play on the field. And you have to realize that you're dealing with creatures of emotion and not creatures of logic when you're dealing with people. And so,
bingo.
Yeah,
bingo.
So if you can understand that they're talking in the moment and not in terms of a logical aspect of how to deal with another human being, you can kind of show them grace and kind of move forward and continue to do your best, because your best is what counts. And making sure your teammates are safe mentally, physically, that's all you can do, is because it's about the team. And if you could do that, if you can make sure your brothers and your sisters are good who are on that team, and make sure that they're ready to compete and ready to play, and that they're healthy and in a good mindset, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter about anything that goes on outside of the field, outside of the court. Just worry about you and the people that are on your team. That's the best way.
You're a great mentor for young people. You already are a great mentor for young people. Just this interview alone, if they're listening to it, they're going to learn so much from you. So I feel privileged to be able to talk to you and get your story told. I'm sure Lori feels the same way.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much.
You even said, you're very personable and you can network. Use that to your benefit. You are, you're a dude.
Thanks.
You're a good guy.
I appreciate it.
Experience and, share it. And, helping with the EDGE program and now being where you are and being a student athlete, and using what was available to you. You are the prime example of how it really should go, for all those student athletes. So use that, pass that dang bar, and get out there and help those, men and women. Gosh, I can't talk right now. Men and women, to excel like you have. I am so proud that I have gotten to interview you tonight. I'm really proud of you. And I think Wildcat Nation should be very proud of you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. If I can be an example of someone to keep going or to just have hope that they can still be great off the field whenever they're done playing, that's all that matters to me.
That's
And
great.
how do they reach out to you? Like, would you rather have Instagram, Twitter?
Instagram, my name is Carrington Vaughn. Just hit me there. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm open to help with anything that you guys need. Just let me know.
If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row.